This is a short overview of the red64 CLI. What I have here is a terminal with two sessions running in parallel. They are working on two different features. This one is working on adding Quen code support. This one is on redesigning the layout. And they're both running in two different work trees. They're running in sandbox mode, meaning that the execution is autonomous. The execution is autonomous and running inside a Docker instance to limit the danger of the YOLO mode. Both sessions are using Claude, but red64 CLI supports other coding agents. The way this is organized, so again, this is two sessions in parallel running in the terminal. So I'm going to focus on the top one, this session here. There are three components to the UI. The left component gives information about the workflow. These are the steps. I know the design needs a little bit of love here. That will be releasing a new UI soon, but you can see here that the tool went through all these steps: the initialization, requirement definition, gap analysis, design, task, and the next step is to start the implementation. Every time it goes through a phase of the flow, it generates artifacts, and using the tab you can move from between the different menus. This menu here that is highlighted is controlling the flow. So I can decide right now I'm on the task definition step. I can accept or reject, and the sidebar here lets me actually review the documents that the previous steps have generated. So hitting tab opens the requirement document because I had it selected. The requirement document is where we capture from just this prompt. That's what I provided the tool with. It generated requirements, detailed requirements, and acceptance criteria. And the idea here is to have a human step in the loop where the stakeholder reviews the requirements and then rejects or approves and moves on to the next session, next step. The next step is a gap analysis. Hitting tab now to open the gap analysis document. The gap analysis looks at the existing code base. This is a brownfield project, and I started it with the -B. The -B flag here to notify the tool that this is a brownfield project. So the gap analysis looks at what is already implemented in the code base and what needs to be implemented, and it also gathers information about the pattern and how to integrate with the existing code base. This is a pretty important document. It's very detailed, and this is all generated by a gap analysis agent within the flow. So the next step, once I accept the gap analysis, is to move to start the designer or the architect agent. So I'm moving with the arrows here to select the design markdown file. I hit the tab key, and I have a chance to review the technical design. This is again generated by the agent. This is also a very important document where requirements gap analysis are used to generate a very detailed design document that analyzes, describes what approach the implementation is actually going to take. So it's basically describing, requirements are describing what gap analysis is the context, and design is how we're going to implement the feature. You can see here that, and this is all generated by the agent, including the diagrams. It's also a very detailed document that needs to be reviewed carefully, but is actually fairly easy to read. All those diagrams are generated by the agents and are super useful to understand how the flow and how the implementation is going to actually happen. There's a lot of tracking information that is also added, helps with context, and then there's a first stab at defining the actual implementation of the different services and that will help in defining the task. So let's move on. Once I've accepted the design, the tool moves to the next step, right? The design task. So I'm moving to the task document, selecting task document, hitting tab, and now I'm reviewing the task document. This is how the design and the requirements are going to be implemented. Again, this is a very detailed, it's basically divide and conquer approach where the task agent breaks down the requirements with the acceptance criteria into small steps to then hand off to the last the implementation step. You can see here that the tool knows that there is that the implementation step hasn't started. There's 24, there should be 24 tasks here. 024. Maybe it's counting the small. I guess it's counting the yeah. So it's not. It's the 24 here is counting the subtasks. So now that I've reviewed the task document, I'm gonna go and approve. So I'm hitting tab to move to this menu. I'm gonna approve, and it's gonna start implementing. And this implementation step is completely autonomous. It's gonna do several things. It's gonna track progress, and it's gonna treat every high-level tasks as a separate agent session. That is done in order to control the size of the context window, and it's also gonna commit every time it completes the implementation of a task. It's gonna commit, and we'll end up at the end with one commit per task here.